Hello and welcome to the Halifax Real Estate Podcast. I am your host, Jason Paul, licensed realtor in Halifax since 2017 and team lead of the Infinity Real Estate Group at eXp Realty of Canada Inc. This podcast was created to help you understand a little more about the Halifax and Nova Scotian real estate markets. If you like what you hear, I would really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much and enjoy the show. Caleb and his cousin Nicole have taken a sprawling 100 acres of land in the heart of Hubbards, Nova Scotia, that has been in their family for decades to fulfill Caleb's lifelong dream of building and developing brand new homes for the community of Hubbards called Boulder Ridge Homes. Caleb has developed and built Boulder Ridge Homes with the goal of being affordable and accessible to the local community and to build something with community at the heart and center of the development itself. We go through the process from the first shovel in the ground a few years ago to handing over keys to their first home buyers in a matter of weeks. Please welcome Caleb. So, don't even worry. If you need to take a second, take a second. If you need to get going, all that stuff. Like we're recording right now, I'll edit all this out. I'm not worried about
Okay,
it.
that sounds good. I'm ready.
All right. Hey, Gabe, how are you?
Doing good. How are you, Jason?
Good, my friend. Thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
No, my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So today we're talking about Boulder's Ridge. Give me the lay of the land. What is Boulder's Ridge?
Boulder Ridge is a new subdivision in the Hubbards area, all from generational land. So it was passed down to me and my cousin, and we developed it into a community that seems to be taking off pretty good right now. Getting great feedback. We have really good sales, and I think we're kind of trying to do something a bit different. So it's kind of um, showing us what we can do, right? So
Right.
we're real happy with that.
When you say doing something a bit different, what do you mean by that?
We're really it's a little bit excuse
That's
me here,
okay.
sorry.
You're good.
There are
Don't worry.
calls here.
You're building
Calls coming
houses,
in on
man. People are talking to you all day. You're building houses.
yeah, I'm trying to mute all these phone calls here today. But no, we're trying to really make it more community focused. So we're trying to sorry, things keep
That's
popping up
okay.
here, Jason. I
You're good.
apologize. We're trying to make it more community focused. So, really trying to get like-minded people. We're trying to do a little bit different with how we're building. We're trying to get our clients involved in the process, make the process fun, and also really trying to bring back, kind of in the 70s where everybody kind of chipped in to build the house. So like
Right.
your uncles would come, your neighbors would come and help. So we're really trying to bring that back and have the community step up for each other and really help each other. So yeah, it's kind of what's been happening there. We had once we had a core group of people that invested into it. We got everybody together and then it just started to gain more and more momentum. So yeah, so it's really turned out great and we're already into phase 2 and we're actually handing over the first couple homes within the next 60 days. Super excited.
How exciting is that to hand over? Is it your first set of houses that you guys are completing for clients?
Yes, and these were two young couples that as soon as they heard that what we were doing, they jumped right aboard. So they're absolutely excited. It's actually their first home, both of them. So
Wow.
that adds a whole new level of excitement for them just to
Yeah.
get in their first home, brand new, exactly what they're looking for. And me and the crew are really doing everything we can to just absolutely hit it out of the park for them.
All right. So you touched on a few points there. So my first thing is you focusing on the community, right? So how are you guys focusing on the community of Hubbards? Just lay that out for me, because you guys you're handing over 2 houses to 2 first-time home buyers by what you just said. So how have you been able to help them get involved with the community? And how is the building process helping them get involved?
Well, so just one small example of that. So like, to have my crew come in and do full professional paint job to a house is really expensive. So,
Yeah.
we took that off the list, the actual, just the painting. And, so we have some of the other residents coming to help. Actually, my family coming to help because, it's actually one of my daughter's friends from school that's moving there.
Oh,
So we're
okay.
kind of going to take the weekend really help them get painted out, and trying to reduce that labor and that cost down so it becomes number one, more affordable, number two, it becomes fun, and number three, it becomes like a community bonding thing that everybody's stepping up to help each other. So it's really, really awesome to see this kind of these ideas actually take shape in real life. So we're ecstatic.
Right. I just get we offer painting services in our real estate packages when we're selling houses, and we just got a quote out on a listing that needs paint. It's like 3,000 square feet, and the painters just came back at $12,000. So like when you say like it adds that cost and that labor, like I really do get it, because we're like, how do we? Because in our packages, if we're gonna agree to it, we offer it up front. So we'll take care of that out of our own budget, and we'll build that into the commission once we hit the sale. But
And that was one of the things with paint, and especially with like resale, like you
yeah.
say, I always back before I built homes, I did a lot of flipping of homes. Paint was your best investment. Paint, a fresh
By
coat
a
of paint.
mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you must see that when you go into homes, it's like, hey, listen, one investment in paint will
Oh my
really,
god.
really freshen this house up. Give it a really good first impression.
We did a house last year in South End, and I swear I made them paint the whole thing. And they did it. And it's like a 3,000 square foot old Grand Victorian, and I swear to God, they probably spent, oh, a month painting the whole house, but the paint probably added 100 grand in value. Like,
And
oh. But
and you
anyway,
know about color selection too. The right color in the right room can really bring it around. So
we
yeah,
we always if I'll get back to Boulder Ridge in a second. We always say white dove from Benjamin Moore, and you can paint everything in that color. It's not a problem. But if you really want to go the extra mile, white dove and Benjamin Moore, it's a little off white, and then you paint the trims white, and everything pops, and it looks brand
absolutely.
new and it's clean. Anyway,
Yeah.
enough about me and my business. Boulder Ridge.
No, no,
Okay,
that's all good.
you said generational land. So how long has this land been in your family?
I think originally the story started with my grandmother looked after an older guy in the community that he didn't have any family. My grandmother was just that kind of lady that she looked after really anybody that showed up on her doorstep. She was willing to help out. So there was an older gentleman that ended up living with my grandmother and my grandfather.
Yeah.
And then so she looked after him in his older years, and she inherited the land from him. So this was probably in the 1950s. So
Jeez.
yeah, so she's held on to the land. She lost my grandfather, years after that, and she held the land as a single lady. And then it got passed down to my uncles when she passed away in the early 90s. And then my uncles, they just kept it. We cut wood off of it. It was just family land. It had a logging road. And then, yeah, basically, me and Nicole stepped up and purchased it from them. So, yeah, and
How
this
much
is 2 years ago.
how much land is it?
It's approximately 100 acres altogether.
100 acres in Hubbards.
Yeah, 100 acres in Hubbards. We're right off the exit. And like, there was a couple really awesome things about it once we started to discover about developing it. It's great soil quality. It's got really sandy, great permeable soil. So the septic approvals are, we're approving C1, C2s on them, which are
Flawless.
great system. Yeah, like
Yeah,
nice long contour systems. I always, it kind of drives me nuts. It seems like for a long time, engineers were just pushing these big, sloping sand filters that they kind of look like a dead whale that's buried in your front yard. Like it looks
yeah,
horrible, right?
yeah,
So whenever my company does a septic system, we always try to blend it the best we can.
of course.
Just because I don't know, they look if they're
The
not
hump,
done right.
the
Yeah, that
hump.
big, yeah, it's just so invasive and like the kids can't play on it. It's not level. It's hard to cut the grass on it. So like, I really try to stay clear of those. Absolutely. So yeah, these are beautiful contour C1, C2s and we have elevation there, so you have to hide them in the contour. So the clients won't even know where the septic actually is. And that's when we know we've done it right.
Yeah. Okay. I want to bring it back though. Okay. So there's 100 acres in your family just being passed around because no one wants to do with it. 2 years ago, you and your cousin Nicole, whose idea was it to buy this land and build houses?
This was my idea. I've had this for many, many years. It was more just waiting that I was in the position to do it and do it the way I wanted to do it.
Okay.
So, that took into my 40s, of course. But I dreamt of doing this when I was probably 12 years old to develop this land. I always wanted to repurpose the old logging road, which we did. So it just gives it a bit of unique. And yeah, like you can from our ridge view lots. Some of them are just wooded without a view. We have lakefront as well, and then we have a ridge. We call them ridge view lots that you can see all the way to Tantallon. They're absolutely stunning, and those sold within. We have
Yeah.
up, yeah, and I took you up, Jason, to say,
Yeah.
the driveways are a little bit more challenging, but once
Ah,
you're up there, it's
that
absolutely
view.
stunning.
Just get
Yeah.
just get all just get four-wheel drive. Put it up, you're fine.
Yeah, and that's it, it's worth it once you're up there. So, in the fall to look over the ridge all the way to Tantallon, with the fall colors, it's just absolutely stunning. So those sold within weeks. We
I
had
bet.
all five of those sold. So, and that was something I thought, well, the driveways might be a bit of a challenge. Like I've been wrong so many times in this business. So
Yep.
those sold right away. And the first two our ridge view that we're turning over, and then we're starting basically the other two to three in the spring. So we have deposits and signed contracts, and we have five more homes that we're starting for 2026, and we even have commitments for our 2027 build. So we're
Good for
super
you.
excited. Yeah, we're really
Okay.
excited the way this is taking off.
So, okay, you've been dreaming of doing this since you were 12. You finally get the money to buy 100 acres. What's the vision for Boulder Ridge at the start of this? Like you got a grand scheme, you're going to your cousin being like, we can do this. So like what was the vision at the start? Walk me
It
through
was
it.
all it was always to do a residential development, but when we started it, it was, you know, I thought we were going to be marketing to more retirees, you know, a more demographic with a little more disposable income. But like I said, I've been wrong so many times in this business that the majority of the families that moved in are young families, and I think we have a total of 14 kids that will be living in Boulder Ridge,
Oh, that's
which
awesome.
is which if you met my grandmother, you know that she'd be pretty happy to see the kids running around Boulder Ridge.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was, it was more we wanted to just put it out to the world, see who, what demographic we would attract. We had some in mind,
It's
but it
funny how
turned
that
out to be
works.
some yeah, it turned out to be something totally different.
Okay.
So
Okay, you buy this from your uncle 2 years ago. When do you start? What's the first step in development? Because a lot of people have I get this question all the time from clients who'll be like, I want to get in development. And I always say, you don't have the money. It's too much money. It's a lot of upfront capital. It's a lot of upfront hassle. So you get 100 acres. What's your first step to getting
Jason,
to
that's
where you
some
are?
very good advice you give them. That's like
It's
you
too
got to
much
hit them
money.
with that advice right out the get go. It is expensive. One of the things that allowed me to do that is I have my own equipment on site. So when you pull into Boulder Ridge, my Keeper Contracting business is we have a 14-acre commercial at the beginning of the road, which
Right.
eventually we will develop into some kind of plaza. It won't be like a Tim Hortons plaza. I want to kind of shift it to more local businesses, specialty businesses um, in the front here. But right now we run our Cottage Keeper business, which is full excavation, construction services. So I have all my equipment on site.
Okay.
Um, so we started really like the commitment from myself and my team on this is evenings, weekends to start out, just because we still had to finance our business, finance our equipment. So we have to still, do our 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
I work, we were working nights, weekends. The first couple of years, I don't think my wife saw me for the first 2 summers, but she knew where I was,
Yeah.
and that was the key. The first thing is to get your accessibility.
It's
You
gonna
want to be
say.
able to really be able to travel your land, survey it out. So repurposing that logging road gave us access to really start to open up the land and development. Your road and infrastructure costs are going to be your number one,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
graveling your road, all that. Engineering, surveying is another pricey thing, but if you can do it in stages, you can get to a point where it will start to self-finance. And finally, after a couple of years, we're getting to that point where we're turning over these properties and now we're financing what we're doing.
Well, it's that age old saying, how do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time. How do you climb Mount
That's right.
Everest? One step at a time. You just gotta keep so your first 2 years, and this is what I want to get into because it's stuff like this that people don't think of. Like you are self-financing development, which is actually I think that is probably the hardest thing. We were in the mats. We were in a meeting in I think this November, December with a developer consultant. So their expertise was helping developers acquire land and develop, and they developed the land before a builder took over. That was their expertise. And in that meeting, we discussed literally how you get to financing from anything up to to 10 million because banks won't touch it development if it's under 10 million. They just there's no middle ground. So the new guys like yourself or other people who want to get in development who don't have 10 million liquid or 10 million in dollars of assets to loan against to go get this money, like that's why I want to make sure people understand like it's nights, it's weekends, it's summer vacations, and you are literally changing the structure of land to do what you want. Has anyone ever shoveled? Try doing that, but for 100 acres.
Yeah. It's a major commitment, but when you do when you're doing what you love, we made the process fun. Me and my guys, we really love what we do. We love our equipment. You know, uh, we had a great time in the last couple of years getting it to this point, and we bootstrapped it. We took zero debt. Boulder
Good for
Ridge
you.
doesn't have any debt on this on the infrastructure. Everything we did ourselves. So to say it's possible, it is tough, but for people that are looking to do this, it can be done. There was many different strategies I could have took. I could have started opening up only a couple lots and then self building
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
selling as basically as a spec home. But since we had some sales out the gate, I just had to kind of continue opening up and keep opening more and more lots up. And as I was selling them as almost as fast as we could open them up. So
Right.
it kind of, it's you kind of fake it till you make it. So
Of
we
course.
we we just jumped in with 2 feet, and as we start selling, we just started to move with the momentum, and
Right.
here we are, you know, what we're on pushing 3 years later, and we're over 10 sales completed. We got I think $4 million worth of development on this year on the books and
Whew.
committed. So
Good for you.
yeah, so when the deposits are starting to come in now, we're really we're going full scale and increasing our operation and starting back at starting the 5 homes that we have slotted on for this year. So
Love it.
it's been good.
Okay. So you get the land scraped, kind of developed, you get the road infrastructure and you can now access lots. You get the land surveys done, you get the PIDs done, I'm sure. How you used to be a realtor. We mentioned that in our previous conversation. So you know how to sell things. So where do you go to start advertising your first set of lots?
My whole philosophy was I wanted to work with every realtor. Like I had so many, friends, mentors, and just, business associates in that field that I wanted to get as many eyes on it as I could realtor wise and offer full commission. So if you bring a buyer to Boulder Ridge, you're not getting the 2.5%. I pay full 5%. So that mobilized basically
Yeah.
every realtor now, that give
Yep.
them incentive to start to bring their clients here. So so we about half of our sales have come from realtors. The other half have just been organic, and and also my cousin runs our social media, where she's really talented at that. So really trying to show the emotion of what we're doing here. She's done a great job at that and really hit everybody in the fields with what we're doing. So,
Yeah.
she's hit it out of the park. Me and my crew are doing our thing here on site, and then my carpentry crew is absolutely killing it with the product that we're making. So you put all
Okay.
three of those together, and
You
now
got you
we're
got a winning ticket.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing something good, I think.
Okay.
So no,
So
I appreciate that.
how quickly, like as soon as you put the lots up, you call all the agents and you start doing social media content, how quickly did you start selling lots?
We had like three sales right out the gate within the first week. Soon as people
Okay.
heard that we were doing this, we had we had some. Sorry, my guys are just looking at me here. Um, so yeah, so we had some people that just as soon as they heard that what we were doing, they wanted to be a part of it. So a couple sales right off the gate. And I always found, even as a realtor, and you must see this, Jason, with new developments, that first blood, that first sale is the hardest to get, right?
Yes.
Like
Yep.
nobody wants to be the first one to buy into a new
Nope.
development. So many of them go belly up. So once you got that first, you kind of drew that first blood, you knew, hey, I'm on to something. People, and it just kind of snowballed that, the word got out that what we're doing and our price point. And, I've been building in the Hubbards area for last 10, 15 years. So people know what my products are like in my homes. And yeah, it just kind of, built momentum. We added in our social media content. It's really to show what we're doing and what we stand for. And that kind of just snowballed into what we got on the go today.
What what was the price point you offered for the lots in the build?
Uh,
Like those first five, what was the price point you were giving out on the
so
land?
our land cost hasn't changed. We're doing our first price increase in on April 30th. So but our structure is this: $100,000 per lot, 25,000 for driveway cleared and leveled, another 25,000 for your well and septic. So basically 150,000 plus HST ready to build. So ready to put foundation
Ready,
into the ground, pad
pad
ready.
ready. Okay.
So now when it comes to our turnkey, now we have designs that we were offering at 499 plus HST, so 570. We're under that $600,000 price point. Now, those homes would be like 1,500 square feet and below and under. But that's the price point we wanted to hit. Now in April 30th, we're raising our pricing to 115,000 per lot,
Okay.
but we're gonna freeze our until the end of the summer. We're gonna freeze our development cost at for that 50,000 for those extra
Wow.
items.
Okay. Okay.
So
So and now I wanna try and paint this picture, okay, so bear with me here. You did $100,000 at 50K to develop the lot to get to pad ready, which actually, if anyone knows is like usually pad ready, if you take raw land and try and get pad ready, it's usually 75 minimum.
Yeah, depend like, sometimes when you buy a lot, you get, one of the older clients that owned the property put a driveway in or did something to save
Yeah,
some money.
yeah,
But yeah, like, a lot of the lots in Nova Scotia are really challenging bedrock, lots of inclines and different levels and stuff. So yeah, 75,000. We've done 100,000
50.
plus $300,000 pad ready. So
Wow.
and that's what people got to really understand when they're buying a lot. It's just not what the price of the lot is. You have to
No.
factor
Yeah,
in your development cost.
excavation.
Yeah, and
Like,
that together is actually what your lot cost is, right?
yeah.
So
The most common idea pitch deck I get since 2020, since highest prices went the way, is I get a call from a family friend or a first time home buyer. They go, I got a great idea. I'm gonna buy land, I'm gonna develop. I'm gonna build my own house. I go, you're gonna buy land in the middle of nowhere with no service, no road, no pad, no well, no septic. Do we have $200,000? What? It's 50% down payment on land. The other 50% is conventional loans because there's no mortgage. Then you got to buy a septic, buy a well, put up a driveway, put a pad, get power. Then the bank will take your money. Like, that process is so lost on people in terms of, like, what it takes to really go to a bank and be like, "Can I get financing on this new build?" Like, they don't understand how hard and challenging it is. So to here, how much land are you selling? Like, the first at 100 grand, how large was the parcel of land?
1 acre lots.
Okay, so you're getting 1 acre lot for 100 grand, 40 minutes from Halifax, because
No,
Hubbard
we're with the new divided highway. We're from the end of our road to Boulder Ridge to the beginning of Bayers Lake. We GPSed it at 26 minutes. So we're in the
classic.
special kind of category that we are outside HRM. So we got, I think better services, lower taxes,
Lower
you know,
taxes is the first thing.
yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah.
And then also, I find the rules in Lunenburg County are more conducive to development and building and whatnot. So we have
Because
a
they
lot.
need it.
Yeah. So like Halifax County, there's extra taxes and water ditch taxes and all kinds of stuff like that. So we're under 30 minutes to the city that's in a whole other county. So we're really unique. If you go down one more exit, that pushes you all out of that. So
Yeah,
and with our new divided highway, like I said, it's 26 minutes of safe driving. And that was
yes.
the other thing about Hubbard's that, with that highway that was one lane, it was so dangerous. I think it was this number two uh, most dangerous highway in Canada, just that section. So right now we got an easy, accessible highway that we can, if you work in the city, you can travel in there. It's definitely a different experience driving on
Right.
the new highway rather than the old highway. So
So
it's been huge.
100 grand, you're 26 minutes from the city, brand new build, 50K in service charges to get the land developed, and you're keeping the build prices at 570. Brand new build.
That that's our like our
This is
opening.
phase one. I know
Yeah,
phase two, April 30th, we're raising the price, but I just want to make sure. So that was phase one. How
yeah,
many
that was our
houses?
entry level.
How many houses was phase one at entry level? Like, how many, I'm gonna rephrase this. How many houses did you want to build in phase one? And out of those number of units, how many were priced at 570 for an accessible price for the community?
Once the families, every home we've done so far has been custom.
Okay.
So
They'll go up
even
in
with
price as you get into custom, because custom is
yeah,
custom.
so as
Yeah.
soon as we went custom, we kind of threw out that conventional pricing. We also we partnered with a company out of Montreal for their designs called Tallow. So we offered some Tallow designs. They had designs at the 570, super modern, kind of like Scandinavian kind of feel, um really unique, and that's why we kind of wanted to go with them. But as the families, we started to work with the families and the clients that wanted to buy, it turned out like, to really customize your own home is, that's kind of what the draw of new construction is that you don't have to
That's
settle. You
Yep.
can actually have everything you want, your layout that works perfect for you. And when you really put some thought into it, you can really design a house that's totally custom to your family and to the building lot. So that's the other thing. I work with them to not only design their dream home that they want layout wise, but we're going to mirror this for their building lot. So like, where's your view? Where's your windows? How do you want to enter? Where's the parking lot? Where do you want to, as you're washing the dishes, you want a window to look over the kids, like these are all questions that you need to ask. So yeah, we didn't do any entry level. It was more larger, a bit larger homes. The entry levels are mainly 2 bedroom homes where, the two that we built first were two 4 bedroom, really family homes.
Okay.
So, so
So
yeah,
yeah,
we actually didn't sell many of our entry level 570. It was a
every,
little bit
everyone
higher.
went straight for a little more custom, bigger build. Well, because if you're gonna, it's funny. If you're gonna go new build and you get to build it from the ground up, you're gonna add some costs in there because you're gonna want things that are for you. That always happens, and that always happens in new construction. They'll say price is 500,000. You'll get up to 6 just because you're like, well, instead of doing the standard oil fired furnace, I want a central heat pump. Oh, can I have,
Exactly.
I don't want laminate click. Can I get hardwood oak? Yeah, I assume, and it's stuff like that. And like, it's not a matter of overselling the clients what the client wants because they're looking at this as their forever home or their first home, and they get to make it theirs.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. And and as you know, Jason, there's only when you build a new home, there's things you can't change. So
Yeah.
like, you got one shot to insulate it.
Yeah.
Right? You got
Yeah.
one shot to, like you can always update a kitchen or refresh a bathroom, but like the actual nuts and bolts and certain things of this house that there you got one shot. So that's what I always try to, work with the clients to say, what items can we add later? Because you're going to live here. This is supposedly your forever home.
Yeah.
So you have all this time to really upgrade it. But what are the things that we only have one shot? So like if energy efficiency is important to you, you got one shot to put your triple pane windows, you got one shot to insulate it, uh, certain things like that. So we really try to do the things we can't change. A lot of people won't change a heating system. We want to
Yeah.
put that right heating system at the first shot. So, by all means, those are the things that I will push to say, hey, we got one shot at this, but what else can we add later? And by all means, we can come back in a year or so and add in a wood stove, add in,
Right.
some kind of bathroom feature or whatnot, or add a detached garage later on, right? So
Right.
let's concentrate on the things we can't change on this house
Right.
and
Right.
don't, so yeah, that's worked out great.
How many, going back to that question of how many in phase one, how many houses have you guys sold? Because I know we're going into phase two. So how many units did we build in phase one?
So we in our phase one, we have 7 properties. So we've sold 4 of those. So we still have a remaining 2 lots in phase one, or sorry, 3 lots in phase one. And then in our phase two is 30 properties. And we've already sold, I think, 6 of those properties.
Good for you. What's
So
the what's the difference between phase one and phase two? Just out of
just
curiosity.
just the parcel of land. We have in all of our properties in our total 100 acres, we have about 4 PIDs. Because also our property is split from the rails to trails. So we
Yes.
have property on one side of the rails to trails, property on the other. So those are different PIDs. So right now, we're only developing on one side of the rails to trails. We have a 12-foot hauling right of way. And actually, we're one of the very few people that actually have a right of way and not a license to
Yep.
cross the rails to trails. But
Wow.
we do need to apply to, if we want to do future development on the other side of the rails to trails, we have to apply for a licensed 66-foot right of way to actually pass our main road over. But right
Right.
now, we have a total of like 37 properties on this side of rails to trails that we're going to continue to develop. And over the next couple of years, if we continue the same pace, we hope to be sold out in the next 3 years.
Good for you. So 37, so roughly 37 houses in phase one and two.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the phase two is on a 56-acre parcel with approximately 1,000 feet on Sims's Lake. So we have four lakefront properties. The rest are all just beautiful wooded property. And then yeah, phase one is 7 properties as well. So we'll still get a couple remaining lots in phase one, but we opened up phase two and people, I really wanted to offer all the properties at the same price to entice people to say, hey, come pick your best. Like there's
Yeah.
lots, all of them are great lots. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong.
Yeah.
But
Like a true salesman. Every house is great.
everything
No, I'm
is great. No, they're all are beautiful lots, but there are some lots that are absolutely stunning. So that was what I wanted to entice people to say, hey, come pick your lot, right?
right.
Like right out the gate, so that was a bit of our sales incentive to say, listen, everything's the same price. It's more come pick the one you want now,
Right.
right? So
Right. Right. Right.
um and I
How
think
many,
that's been successful.
is there a price difference between a lakefront lot and a regular lot? There must be.
Yes, that's the only ones
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
we
say,
that
don't
yeah.
tell me the lakefront's 100 grand because
No, that one.
they're not staying.
No, no, those range from 199 to 159. Some have a
Yeah,
little bit better lake frontage. Some is it's a little more challenging to get into the lake. So that's our price range on that, which I think is still decently
it's
reasonable.
that's still reasonable. 150 grand for lakefront is, or 100, even 200 grand for lakefront. Once again, 26 minutes from Bears Lake, which means you're 40 minutes from downtown Halifax. Like that is still very reasonable than
I
what
think
you
so.
see other lakefronts in other parts of Halifax.
Now, also, we every property has deeded access to the lake, and we have a common area dock area that we're planning. So
Okay,
this common area dock, it will have a dock, paddleboard, and water sports storage down there. We are going to have fire pit that if they want to have a Friday night happy hour, the residents they can go down and do that. And also, we're going to be doing a wellness center down at the lake. So this
good
will
for
be
you.
all done in cedar, hot
Okay,
tub, sauna, and cold plunge, all
okay,
done, all done with that cedar feel. Just that was the other thing that we wanted to promote in our community is wellness. So having access to the rails to trails for walking, hiking, biking, ATVing, whatever you want to do on that, as well as a some wellness and a retreat area that any of the residents can reserve some time, go down, fill the hot tub, all wood fired, and enjoy some of that. So that was kind of our bigger vision, is like, what can we do to just not to be the same old subdivision where you see house. There's
right.
no thought. And you drive through these, Jason, when you're showing people, it's
Yeah,
you can tell when somebody really cares about their development, like or they're just a developer trying to do it as cheap as possible. So that's not what we're doing here. Like, all of our homes, all of our lots have like beautiful curved driveways that go in. You don't see the homes from the road, from the main road. It's all like private, but yet your neighbors there. So
yeah.
that's kind of what I do. Every property I do it like it's my own, right? When I
Okay.
build, when I develop. So like we go that extra step to really try to be different. And I think it's starting to pay off for us.
Okay, so the journey so far, we got 100 acres we bought from our uncles. We have this crazy idea. We're slaving away for 2 years on evenings, weekends, summers, just to get this thing to where you can start making parcels that you can sell. Make some parcels that we can sell. First four gone. We got phase one, phase two. Where we're gonna build 37 homes. Now you're into how is building these houses been? Because you've now had you're getting ready to hand off some. Building's always difficult, can be challenging with weather and trades and materials. How have you found building the houses that you're ready to give away?
Um, They have been challenging, but the one thing that's actually kept our costs down here is our shops on site. So like, all my guys are local. There's no travel time. My equipment's on site. We have our shop here that we can warehouse building supplies. So now we can buy at a better price because the market
Because it's bulk.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so we would do bulk orders, try to get our costs down. There's times a year that the purchasing is a little better with sales. So to have our, a little bit more of warehousing on site, having all my guys local without travel time, having my equipment on site here as well. That's what's really led us to drive our price down. Because our cost has come down. So one of the biggest challenges, and we're still waiting. Nova Scotia Power, I hope you're listening to this. We're waiting for our polls, and we need our power. So we've paid your fee and we're waiting for you. I know you're going to be busy after the storm, but please come hook up our power. Because now we're into drywall. We're actually up there. We want to move things forward. We got propane heaters on site with dehumidifiers and generators just to keep the drywall going.
Yeah.
Where we're in desperate need of power, which I've been told will be very, very soon, but they haven't given me a date yet. So if you're listening, Nova Scotia Power, get your butt in gear and get up to our site. So,
Good
so
PSA. PSA.
yeah. Yeah, just if you're listening, hopefully this will give them a kick in the butt. But no, we it's just another day in the office for us. We love what we do. My carpenters are, the guys that run my crew are actually award-winning carpenters. They've been recognized in their past for some of the work they've done. So we really try to build these homes for our Nova Scotia climate and we're not a minimum builder. We don't build to the minimum code. We build to our own code. So that's really it's led with we give very little callbacks with our home. We have very small punch lists of things that we need to correct our deficiencies. So that's really played in part of some of our success. So to us it's just another day at the office. We absolutely love what we do. So there hasn't been overly well. I'll sorry,
Come
I'll
on.
rephrase this. Yes,
Come on.
this winter has been tough. This
Yeah.
the snow has been challenging, the weather's been challenging, but it's nothing. Hindsight's 2020. We're just looking forward and building in rural Nova Scotia. You're gonna there's no way you can control every factor, so you just got
No.
to do your best, right?
Sucks building in urban Halifax, let alone rural.
Yes. Yeah. At least you could go to the Tim Hortons and get,
Right?
no, but every spot has their challenges. Like in the city, you're fighting for space and housing your materials and theft and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff in the city. Out here, it's we have weather, we have longer delivery times. Like we just can't sometimes just go run and grab some items that we're missing. It's a trip into the city, and when you're paying the guys 30 plus dollars an hour to go, if you miss something,
Yeah.
it's a couple hours of driving gas, and everybody's on site kind of waiting for them to get
Yeah.
back. So as further you get away from those cities, those city centers, you get some challenges, right? So
You're getting ready to hand off how many houses are you getting ready to hand over? 2 or 4?
two this in the next 60 days we hope to have
Okay.
these people in.
Great. So, and these are your first 2 you're handing off. We've gone from, you mentioned when you try to keep it at 570 under 600K, which is you're actually under the average Halifax price of 600K. That's tended to be where Halifax is the last few years. How involved have the clients been in the build themselves?
Um, Decently involved, right? So we handle a lot, but I do want to get them as involved as possible. Like they only are going to deal with me and my crew for about 10-month process on average to get their home built, and then they'll be in their home for the rest of their lives. So this is like creating the space is part of the journey that I think is really important for clients to be a part of. And when they are part of it, like, it's there's kind of two things. There's built and bought, right? So let's say you're doing a hot rod, right? So you go buy a hot rod, 1971 Boss Mustang, it's all completed. You'll pay $100,000. But if you and your father build this car and put your love into it and part of the process and deal with some of the trials and tribulations of it, then it becomes something a little more special. So we're limited on what we can do with our clients, but we try to involve them as much as we can, right?
Okay, so when you say you're trying to involve them, like I know for a fact you're doing the painting of one, right? Because you guys are gonna do that with them because they're family friends. Is there anything else that people are doing that they're willing to take on themselves to help bring these costs down?
We have some of the other clients that this year. So, we're in one case, we're going to be doing a house with a detached garage. Now,
Okay,
the husband client, he's handy, but he's not fully versed in like framing, building, and all that. So, in this case, we're going to frame up his garage, wrap it, and he's going to do his own vinyl siding.
good for him.
So just to keep his costs down, he's comfortable with that. And also, like, so I'm really trying to encourage the clients to say, hey, if you think you can kind of take this on, give it a try. And if
Right.
you need help, me and my carpenters are on
We're
site.
still on site. We're building
Well,
another
yeah,
100 of these things. We're still
yeah. So
Yeah.
like we're only one lot over. If you need a hand with something, we're here to support you. We're here to make sure that you're successful. And also, that's the number one way, as you know, Jason, to is put that sweat equity into your own home.
Yeah.
That's gonna and I just meeting you, we
Yeah.
shared some stories about your Wolfville house and what you've
Oh
done
god,
there.
you should see the before pictures. They're fucking traumatizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, and now like your confidence is up after you've done it, that like now, hey, I've done this, I've GC'd it, there's certain things you need skilled trades to come and do, but you know, uh, trying and failing is not a bad thing, right?
No.
And if you need a little help or, and YouTube has been great as well nowadays, you can almost learn anything with that. And if you have a little bit of handy bone in your body there. So, it's okay to try and fail. And if you need help, if you have those supports, then call them in and don't be afraid to call in some help. Right. So yeah, so I'm really trying to get my clients involved. Our build for 2027 that we have slotted in is a young family that want to build. They're going to start the process of selling their home and whatnot, but basically he wants to GC it himself, which I'm totally,
Wow.
yeah, totally like open to it. That my company will probably provide, uh,
Excavation. I'm gonna get some landscaping.
yeah, and
Yeah.
excavation, foundation, framing, weather tight. That's a
Okay.
great way to do it because once you're weather tight, you can kind of slow down a little bit, right? The pressure's off. Like it's always a race to get your house weather tight, get the weather out of it.
Fun side story. My father-in-law listens to this, and he's built a few houses in his time. And when we bought our house, the first thing he said to me was, "You need new windows, you need new doors." And I said, "Yeah, yeah, I know. Don't worry." He said, "No, no, no, no. You want to do the outside first because you can do the inside later."
Absolutely.
I ignored that
Yes.
completely. I was like, "I'm living in it. Like, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
let's get this inside done." And we are still not all weather tight, and we know. And we installed new windows, and I just didn't finish the siding yet because I was lazy, and I just had a leak because we're not weather tight. It's a small one; it'll get fixed. But like, he now tells me every fucking time something happens to my house, he goes, "I told you weather tight," and I'm like, "I'm gonna drown you in a backyard if
Yes.
I hear weather tight." Like, I've already told him he's right. I've already told him I was wrong. I've already told him I didn't know what I've said all these things to this man, and so I'm gonna send him this fucking clip so he has it on
Yeah.
video that he's right, and he
We're
can.
hard learners, Jason. We only learn the hard way, right? We have
But
to fail to learn, right? So
weather tight. That
yeah.
is like from there you can do whatever you want. I've now learned that weather tight. Yes.
Yeah, so getting this client in our 2027 build, he'll GC it. We'll get it to weather tight. He can now slow down and call in his favors. Everybody has a buddy electrician.
Yep.
Plumbers are a little harder to find.
Yep.
But if you have family members that call those favors in. This is the biggest investment of your life. If you're willing to help people, but they should be willing to help you as well. So, yeah, don't be afraid to call in some favors and see what you can do. Every dollar counts when you're building. Shaving 10% off a
Oh,
$600,000 build is 60
60
grand, right?
grand.
So, like, the little points will add up to something. And so yeah, so he wants to GC this himself. He has some contacts that once we have it weather tight, he wants to jump in and do basically all the other items. And then when it gets to the finishes, he's decently handy. So he wants to do his own um, flooring trim,
Well,
and
that just helped his cost come way down. That's just
absolutely.
like that's what makes homeowner that can make that new build really accessible.
It's unfortunately in Nova Scotia is everything is so expensive, like I don't know, I can't go out and get a cheeseburger for like under $25 nowadays. It's just
Yeah.
it's gone insane.
Yeah.
And also, but and skilled labor is in more and more demand. So the skilled labor cost is going up and up and up. So if there's things you're willing to do, if you're willing to learn, it goes a long way. And yeah, there's lots of resources for people to do that.
Here's a question. So you're now 3 to 4 years into this project. You've had this vision for almost 30 years, 40 years, something like that. Is it how for you, how's it how's it feel seeing where you're at today compared to where you were when you started? Are you on track for where you want to be? Are you like excited by where you want to be? Is this everything that you thought it would be and more?
Well, I'm enjoying the process 100%, but I'm totally cursed. I only can see what is not done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just that kind of guy. I always have been. No matter what I do, I don't take a second to. There's no pat on the back for me. I only can see the work I have to do. So
Okay.
we've done a ton of work there. I have these moments where I'm like, oh wow, it's really nice here. But they're very short lived because I'm just back to work and I'm concentrating on what's the next job we got to do. So
Right.
that's my curse. It's always been
Can't
like that.
can't take a second.
I'm always moving forward, right? So but yes, there is times in this process like, just uh, taking a breath, smelt the roses and kind of, looked around, had a quick smile, but it's back to work pretty quick here.
When what's let me okay. When it's all said and done, you build the final house, the whole subdivision's been developed. What's that look like to you? And you've done it. You've done all the work. What's that like end goal for Boulder Ridge? And what are you building for the community and what are you building for people that are going to buy these homes from you? Don't worry, I know you're busy. That's okay.
No, I'm just clicking them away here. Somehow all
Tell
my
me it's not
I'm
Nova
gonna
Scotia Power. You can take that call.
yeah, it wasn't. I would have answered that one, Jason. You know where I'm at with those guys waiting for them. So the end goal, that's a good question. I don't know if I've ever even thought about it. I don't know. I just see a thriving community. I see, I'm just looking right now to fill these 36. We have more land. Potentially we could do something a little bit larger, but right now is to fill those 36, watch the families and, really turn it into something functional. Have the vision of everybody working together, living together, helping each other, and living a really healthy lifestyle and really people really enjoying it and taking pride. Eventually the home, like in this spring is we're going to form our HOA. So like, when I first started this, I came to my lawyer and I'm like, here's our covenants. He's like, no, you can't do that. There's covenants are here to protect. Because I wanted them really, really simple. People live free. You can do, but we did have to build in a little more covenants than what I wanted. But now when I see the vision, those covenants are there to protect everybody, even when
Absolutely.
I'm gone. And I
Do
said
you
to him, I said, I don't want it to be a situation where like, there's an evil developer and the HOA is fighting the evil developer for
yeah,
rights and to do stuff. So it was always like, hey, I want to be part of this. I don't want to be that evil developer that's fighting the HOA for certain things. I want to support them. I want them to be in the driver's seat of this community. They're living there. So whatever they need, they bring to me and I'm going to try to make happen for them. So totally different dynamic than I think a lot of these developments are. A lot of developers are looking at that bottom line to say, how can I get in and out of this as cheap as possible? Where this is a little bit more, to me, it's important to have this as a really functionable, community driven development. So, and I kind of joke, I'm like, I'm part of the deal of all this. So, I'm not the developer that's going to build your house and then I go back to my big house in the city.
right.
I'm born and raised here. I live here. I work here. I'm here to support my residents and really do something special for them. So I think that's been a little bit of our success too, that people know that like this is something that's more important to me than just the bottom line. This is,
Right.
generational land. This is, a spot where my grandmother would be smiling down, watching the kids play. And that's kind of what we're all about. And I think when you put that first, that's
People
when
will come.
success comes. Yeah.
People will
So
come.
that's been our factor, that we're not pushing bottom line here. We're really pushing quality of life. So
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, you can tell by the price point because 100 acres in Hubbards, you didn't need to do an acre land. You could have done half an acre and you still would have sold out. You would have doubled the units. You could have also built, you know, 2,500, 3,000 square foot homes and you would have sold out. It would have been to a different clientele, but you would have sold out because you're 26 minutes from Halifax. There's a new divide highway. There's infrastructure going in place down the South Shore that can support a larger amount of people. Like you could have done all those things. But what you did is you built something that was targeted at the community and what you wanted for your neighbors to live in. And it's clearly resonated with the area because you're selling them out. They're selling quickly. They're accessible price points. They're accessible builds. You can change up the price point. Like if you're doing a custom build, people can add finishes, change layouts and floor plans, and they can get it up to $1 million. But that's not your goal, and that's not what you're trying to do.
no, no,
So in that
exactly.
Right. So in that regard, like you're really building something really special that is quite unique to a typical development that you see. I know we're gonna get out of here soon, but I'm gonna assume all the home warranties are involved with these new bills, your Atlantic home warranty, yada yada yada. Someone really needs you. You might have to go.
Yeah, I'm getting ringed off the hook. I'm not sure who that is, but we'll be all right here for another minute. I think we're gonna get wrapped up here in the I
We're wrapping
think we're
up.
we're
Don't
hit, we're
worry.
hitting an hour. Jason,
Yeah.
I literally could sit here and talk to you all afternoon, man. This is awesome. So, and yeah, you and Matt, I just want to give a little shout out to Matt, your podcast partner, friend, and
Yeah.
whatnot. Meeting you and him, I can see where the connection is, and that how your friendship really works. You guys are awesome guys, both super knowledgeable. Meet a lot of people in this business, and like as soon as I met you both in different regards, I'm like, yeah, these guys, they know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about. And I listen to your podcast as well,
Ah,
so you guys do
appreciate
do an
that.
awesome job. Yeah, no, you
Well,
guys really do.
I mean, I tried to get involved. I tried to see you guys last year, like literally a year ago. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't. But I mean, having us up there to see the build, see what you guys are doing, um, really excited for this because I love what you guys are doing. I love Hubbards. It was one of the places we considered living. It just there was for what we wanted to do. It just wasn't in our first purchase. It just didn't align with what our goals were, which was an
Well,
investment property that could.
we have some lots still available. If anything ever changed, we'll get you up here, Jason. So,
I don't think
but
I could ever get my wife out of the valley.
yeah.
I don't think I'm allowed anymore. She's
Hey, you guys are in
really
Wolf Vegas. You guys are
yeah.
in a good spot as well. Annapolis Valley is absolutely stunning. And for you, real estate wise, Wolfville's very easy. You can show the South Shore, you can
Oh, yeah.
do the valley, you can scoot into the city. So yeah,
I
you're in
can't
a good spot as well.
we're good. I can't complain,
Yeah.
but what I will say is it's a credit to you and your family and what you guys are doing. I love what Boulder Ridge is. I can't wait to start telling clients about it now that I know a little more about better now that I know a little bit more about it. Hopefully this podcast comes out. It'll come out on the 30th. We're recording on St. Patrick's Day, so happy Patty's Day, of course.
Yeah, as well as you.
I hope that this brings a lot more traction because I know you guys are launching phase 2, which is another 30 parcels. Hopefully, we can get you guys some more sales because I really love the community aspect. I love that you're focused, and I mean the stories you've shared of these are first time home buyers who lived across the road who wanted to buy their first house and they got to build one across the street for their family to live in and grow up in. You've got kids running in the area. Everything you've talked about is community focused and what the community needs and what services the community the best. And I think that is such a unique, positive way to look at development. So thank you for the time. I really
Thank you.
appreciate it. I know you're busy. Go take your phone calls, Gabe.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you,
I-
Jason.
if you need
So
anything else, let me know, my friend. And the only thing I'll ask is I'm going to end the podcast. When it ends, leave the browser open for like an extra 5 minutes for everything to finish loading. But other than that, my friend, you can take your calls and you can have a great day. All right.
thank you, Jason. Thank you for
No
having me. I
problem.
really
All
appreciate
right.
you.
Thank
Really,
you, Gabe.
really great conversation.
All right.
Thank you so
Bye.
much. Bye bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. You can find our contact information in the show notes. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks again.